Good afternoon. I'm Bill Massee. I'm the sheriff here in Baldwin County, and we wanted to have a meeting with the news media, press release, or whatever you want to call it. And we wanted to discuss the incident that occurred at Antioch Baptist Church, where we had two officers involved in a shooting event last week. And several things to discuss. One, we're going to provide y'all with email copies of the entire video. There will be nothing about it will be changed. It'll be from start to finish. Today we're going to show you just a small part of the video, and we didn't do that so much for y'all to put on television. We just wanted y'all to see it. The reason we are weak into giving y'all this is, to be honest, we usually almost immediately transparent with y'all, but since we had a person that was shot and is in the hospital, and we needed to do some more in-depth interviews with a lot of people, as well as we wanted to sort of monitor her position before we had a press release and discuss this issue with y'all. This individual was released from the Baldwin County Jail on the 9th of December. And it is purely speculation that we think instead of her walking to Highway 22 or getting a ride to Milledgeville, she walked down Old Monticello Road. And we think she entered Antioch Church and had been there from the 9th until this incident occurred on the 14th. In this small part of the video that we're going to show you, which is really the shooting incident as well as them providing aid, two things come out of this video. One, when you see it, you will see just how quickly something can happen with a first responder, be it a police officer, deputy sheriff, or what. The attack by this individual was almost, instantaneous from the time it started until it was over. And the other thing in this video is, after the fact and after the shooting, our deputies not only provided her medical aid, but they did stop the bleed as well as even put a tourniquet on her leg. And the GBI was told by the EMTs at the scene that if they had not provided this aid and put a tourniquet on her, that she would have bled out and she would have died during the incident. So here we have two deputy sheriffs that are involved in shooting someone that attacked them, and then the hat totally changed, and within minutes they're into life-saving procedure, which and they did a great job with that. I'll be glad to answer any questions before we start, or we'll be glad to show you this, show you what we have on the video. When y'all get the entire video and y'all review it in y'all's office, we'll be more than open to answer any questions or discuss it with you. Yes, sir.
Sheriff Massee, what is the update on the condition of the woman who was shot?
I don't know how they totally what they call her condition, but we have been told that she will probably get out of the hospital sometime this week. In fact, I am in the process of trying to find another jail facility to hold her in other than the Baldwin County Jail since this incident occurred with our personnel. But we are trying to find a jail that has that will be able to help her not only with any mental health issues, but with the physical issues of where she was shot.
Sheriff, are your deputies back at work?
No, they're still on administrative leave. They are on administrative leave, and we are waiting, hopefully, for the culmination of the investigation by the GBI and the district attorney. And once we receive that, either orally or in writing, we plan to bring them back to work.
Sheriff Massee, do you happen to know how long that whole process will take getting back to work eventually?
No, I don't. That's hard to say because we don't control the investigation. I think under the circumstances, it should not be a lengthy investigation. I would like to think in the next week, if not this week, next week, that we would get some kind of determination, and which to be, I'm not the GBI investigating the case, but from my review of this, I don't have any problems with the actions of our deputies.
Now, you say the GBI sheriff, are they still expected to bring more charges against her?
They will take some other charges against her. We have not documented this yet, but we had somebody call this week and say that a hammer had been stolen from their property up Old Monticello Road. So we're in the process of hopefully getting this identified. We may have a theft charge from the hammer, the tool that was used in this attack, may be one taken from this residence on Old Monticello.
And about how long before this whole incident had she been released from jail?
I'm sorry.
Oh, so sorry. About how long before this incident happened had she been released from the jail?
She was released on the 9th of December, the Friday before this incident occurred. And it's our speculation she left this jail walked down Old Monticello and broke into Antioch Primitive Baptist Church.
What is the distance, Sheriff Massee, between the jail here where she was released and speculation that she went down to church?
I hadn't measured exactly, but I'm going to tell you it's roughly 2.5, 3 miles. Yeah. If you leave here and go north on Old Monticello, it's a church on the left, and I'm going to say it's 2.5, 3 miles. I should know that answer for y'all professionally, but I don't have it off the top of my head.
Now, I know the church had some damage to it. Have they since been able to recover?
The members of the church and the elder that is the minister of the church, they have gone in and looked at all the damages. I don't have an estimate of damages, but they plan to do a lot of repainting and some repair. Yeah, and I'm extremely sorry that the church was damaged. We're lucky that it didn't burn down, because that we charged her with arson in the 2nd degree for starting a fire in there. But if we look at the totality of this, we are so pleased that the elder of the church didn't go in there without us and someone be either killed or really hurt. So, that to us is a real blessing in this whole case. We're glad he called for law enforcement and we came down there and we responded. Okay. With that, I'm gonna let Corey, our IT director, show y'all a video. Is this in their way? Is this in y'all's way? No, I guess. Let me stop you. On this video, this is not the entire video. We had some lag time when a deputy that was coming for backup came to the building. So what we did, we are starting this when our deputies do enter the church.
Sit right in the park. She hit you? Yeah. Get back to the radio. All right. What do you got in your hand, dude? Let me see your hand. You all right? Where are you hit at? Lay your legs straight out here. Let me see where you hit at. Yeah, can you lay your legs straight out? I can't see where you hit. Yes, it did. You hit the stomach? Mm-hmm. Can you feel it? Can you tell me where you hit at? Can you tell me where you hit at? Stop her ambulance as well. I can't figure out where she hit it. Where's the light at? Here. Let me see your leg. Can you straighten your legs out? Hey, dear. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Roll on the other side so I can see. So I can put some pressure on it. Yeah. I can't find the, she conscious? Yeah. She's still conscious. She just won't tell me where she's hit. I'm back, like. I just need this second. Let me get some gloves. Let me get some gloves. You got some? Yeah, right. Oh. She hit me the first time, and then I backed up. Hey, you stay down. I couldn't see what was in her hand. We're trying to help you. What's she having with me? It's really hard. That hammer. Okay, we're gonna have to roll you over, okay, so we can see where you hit at. Okay? Straighten her legs out. Straighten her legs out. So she's hitting the blood. Or with the lower back leg. There it is. All right. That's fine. Do that. Do this one. This is probably the exit. There should be one on the other side. Let's see if it. Some time around. This side, get this one. Get this one. Tight. That's not too tight. Be still, man. Be still. Be still. Back that way. Back that way. This one. No. Let's turn around and look for.
Please get me out of here. Get me out of here, please. I feel like I'm about to throw up. Oh.
Stay on the side. You go up.
Please, can you get out of here, officer?
Just lay on your side. Lay on your side.
Officer, I need to get out of here. I'm about to throw up.
It's okay. It's okay to throw it. You just stay on your
I
side.
need to get out of here.
We're gonna get you
Oh,
some medical attention.
please,
All right?
officer.
We're gonna get you.
Please, officer.
We're gonna get you some. It's on the way. Fast as we can. Okay?
Mostly, but I was leaving. She came around the corner real fast. She hit me once. I backed up to right here. I said, stop, stop. She came again. I fired, he fired.
Can you get me out of here?
Listen, we got somebody on the way.
I feel sick. I'm about to throw up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I wouldn't touch that.
I gotta throw up. Can I sit up, please?
Yes, ma'am. You need help? You need help?
Oh, no.
Okay, that. Short lip patches. Short lip patches. Come on.
Can you get me out of here?
We'll get you out of here.
Oh. Oh, I'm about to throw up. Oh, help. Please help. Can you please stop doing that?
Well, dear, it's trying, that's not bleeding. That's not bleeding. Okay?
Help. Help, please. Help. Help. Help, can you get off of me? I'm just stop. Help, I'm about to throw up. Can you get me out of here, please? Please get me
I
out of
can't
here.
really tell. I can't see her.
Please get me out of here. You hear me?
We're working on it.
Please.
EMS is on the way.
Out right now.
I don't want to lose you, dear. Okay? Let the professionals get here. I saw something in her hand, I just couldn't tell what it was.
Ow! Ah!
If you want to laugh.
Ah! Oh! Oh, help me. Help me. Please. Oh. Can you take me outside, please?
Yes, we're gonna take you outside.
Right now.
Well, we need a stretcher to take you outside.
You can't pick me up.
You go here. We don't want to risk it. We
Oh.
don't need more damage.
Please help. Please. Oh. Ow. Oh. Help. Please, Lord, help. Please.
You're in the right place.
Can you get away from me, please?
Well,
Please, you need to get away from
if
me.
you lay flat,
No,
lay
please
flat
get
on
away
it,
from me.
lay flat on it. Just lay flat on it.
We got another bag, it's one bedroom and one shopping bag. Cameras over there.
It doesn't look like it's bleeding.
It's not really pressure. That's fine.
I believe it's the one on that book.
I know you touch it, right? Touch it, there.
Look, you need to get away from me.
We're trying to help.
That's just something.
Trying to get that bleeding to stop.
You need to get the fuck away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get me outside. Help. Help. Please help. Oh. Get the fuck off of me. Why are you throwing that?
We're trying to help you. You ready?
Help. Get the fuck away from me. Can you get away from me? Right now.
We still here. We're gonna get you outside, okay? We're gonna go outside, all right? Get you out.
I stopped it there because right after that, the ambulance gets there, the EMTs get there, and they took her to the hospital for true medical attention. So that's our audio, our video, and like I say, we are emailing all of that to y'all for y'all to review. Any further questions you have, I'll be glad to try to answer them. And anything in the future, we'll be open with it. Yes, sir.
Sure, Massee. Hey, I noticed that where the shooting took place was not actually in a back room of the church and a kitchenette area, but in fact, it was very near where it looked like parishioners would gather at the altar of the church. Is that correct?
Well, the door they were going through enters into a meeting room and a kitchen area. And he had to go through that door to go in to clear the meeting room. They were going back there to clear it. And as he started going through the door, that's when she attacked him with the hammer. But behind that door is tables, chairs, meeting area. It's an addition to the church. If you go out there and look at it, you can see where it's an addition, and it was for them to put a kitchen in and a place for the parishioners to meet. And it occurred right there at that doorway.
And where exactly was she hit? I couldn't exactly tell from the video.
I'm sorry?
Where exactly was she hit? Is there anything there?
He threw his arm up and she hit him on the wrist with a hammer. Well, we thought it had broken his arm. We took him to the hospital for x-rays and all. It did not break his wrist, but I'm glad he got his arm up in a defensive manner, because if he hadn't, he would have been hit in the head, proper in the face.
Where was she hit? Was it the lower leg or?
She was hit in the leg, a grazed wound to the head, and hit in the lower leg and one internally, but I don't know exactly where to tell you that it was. They recovered a projectile from a leg as well as internally, and so those were collected for ballistic examination. The weapons of the deputies were turned over to the GBI that day, and I'm sure they'll use them to do any comparison to determine which weapon the projectile came from.
What kind of service weapons do you use by the sheriff's office?
We carried Glocks, majority of them are 9mm Glocks.
Were these two officers carrying?
Yes,
9mm?
yes. It's our standard issue.
Based on your review of the footage, would you say that these deputies acted accordingly with their training?
Yes, I think they do. They were trying to clear a church. We were called by a minister of the church who had arrived there and determined somebody had broken in the church. And he started to come in, but he was scared somebody was in the church. So he called us, and our people responded to clear the church and to make sure it was safe. And then that's when this incident occurred.
So they did act in accordance with their training, you would say?
Yeah, they were called to check on the church. Someone had burglarized the church. That was evident. We were just clearing it to make sure nobody was in there, because the elder of the church wanted to go in and see what damage was done where he could repair it. So we went in as a normal, average response for law enforcement when we get these calls. They enter into a vehicle, enter into a dwelling or structure like a church, and methodically try to clear what we call clear the building, to make sure no one's in there and no threats in there towards anyone.
And one question for me, Sheriff Massee, what is the sheriff's office message to the community about this accident?
Well, several. It's one, we didn't know it at the time, but we're dealing with someone who's mentally ill. We're dealing with someone that'd been in the jail, and we didn't know that at the time. And when they stopped in the table in the church and they were looking, what they were looking at was her booking sheet and her release that she'd taken with us, and it was on a table in there, and that's what they were looking at when they stopped at the table. It shows that we have homeless people, we have mentally ill, and it also shows just how quickly something bad can happen if you're in law enforcement. Clearing a building, stopping a car, interaction with the public, and we want to say that we have the greatest people in the world, but occasionally we have people that want to harm us, and this is a classic example of it.
What about previous arrests that this woman was accused of? And what kind of
Yep.
incidents, and did any of those incidents elsewhere involve law enforcement?
Well, she was arrested in DeKalb County, in Cobb County, as well as Bibb County, and the charges were the same. The charges were criminal trespass, which probably meant she was homeless and she entered a dwelling. She could have gone in there to steal something. She could have gone in there to sleep. We don't know. But she was charged with criminal trespass in those three jurisdictions. And she ended up in the Baldwin County jail by being charged with criminal trespass by the city of Milledgeville. So she has 4 arrests in different places for the same offense.
Now, Sheriff, due to her being mentally ill, as you just stated, is there a reason to believe that there will be less charges?
No, she'll be charged appropriately. She will be charged. What we will try to do, though, is to find some mental health help for her. Hopefully we can find a facility that will house her. But to be honest with you, it's getting harder and harder for us to find bed space for people that are chronically mentally ill.
Has her family been reached?
Her family has been contacted, and her father went to the hospital. We allowed him to have visitation over the weekend at the med center in Macon. So the father had visited with her this weekend.
Is he also from Pennsylvania?
I want to tell you, he's from Pennsylvania. He had all his communication with the GBI, and I didn't talk to him personally. I just approved his visitation.
Now, as far as her charges go, will she be charged by Baldwin County or will she be charged by the state?
Well, it'll all be state charges, but we charged her with burglary and second in arson in the second degree. She will be charged other felony charges, aggravated assault on police officers by GBI, and they will be taking those warrants. And the reason they are is because that's really the part of the investigation that they worked. Our deputies responding on the scene know that she did do the arson in the church as well as the burglary. So we decided it'd be easier for them to go ahead and facilitate that paperwork, those warrants. Okay, well, if that's it, thank y'all. And yes, sir. And I need for y'all to give Sarah y'all's email addresses, and we will email this everything to y'all.